Hi, I'm Susie Jefferson and I'm thrilled to have been invited by Kay and Graham of Blade Rubber Stamps to come and talk to you today all about what I know about scrapbooking. Now, the first thing you're going to need is going to be photographs. Loads of photos, whatever you think you need. Gather them all together, preferably in one place, possibly an envelope, a box, an album. Maybe write yourself a little note, what's in there, so you know it's the children's photographs and it was taken, 6 months ago, or when Johnny was 14 or something. Just give yourself a point of reference to start with, and the one you want to use first, your opening page, obviously something big, something punchy, something to just give it a bit of a flavour what your albums are going to be about. Same with vintage. Here's some vintage ones I've got in a theme. We'll be looking at these later in a spread. So I've just got 4 that kind of go together. Little boy in a sailor suit, obviously his friend. Little girl in a sailor suit. Little boy in a sailor suit again, looking absolutely miserable. And was that him grown up? Was that the friend grown up? Who knows? But this is where you can tell a story in pictures, which is another thing scrapbooking's all about. Now, what you also need is paper. So you can buy paper individually in sheets. Go to your scrapbook store, maybe take your photos with you so you can sort of have a look. Is it going to go? Is the colour right, etc.? Or you can buy pads of paper. Here's one, for example. Always you'll see on the front or possibly on the back, not on this one, but it will show you a sample of every paper that is in the book. And then you just rip out what you want. So that's the sort of thing you can get. You'll get usually repeats, at least 2 or maybe 4 pages of each design, so that you can have a pair of pages matching up as a spread, or possibly for mounting and layering, or maybe even just because you've made a mistake and can you find the same sheet again. So these are pretty useful to have. Then you might want some embellishments. You can see here, those are chipboard embellishments, and that's the matching paper. So obviously those are going to go together. I haven't got to worry, is the colour going to match, is the design going to match? And then obviously what I can do with them is something like that. Now this is actually mounted on foam core, which is a little bit bigger, as you can see, than the 12 by 12. So I can actually hang this up on a wall if I want to. I can just put a little hanging loop behind and Bob's your uncle. So that's actually quite fun. As you can see, it's quite 3D. I've also got a silly little card I made, which is also quite fun. This one's actually been aged with a little bit of rubber stamping just to add a bit of definition. Rubber stamping on the top, why not? Perfectly archival and acid free if you choose the right inks. And little embellishments stuck all over and little bits of crystal glitter. Which immediately brings me into the subject of glue. You can't make a scrapbook without glue. So what do you choose? Well, if you want 3D embellishments, you can buy little sticky pads. As you can see, those are quite dimensional, and then you peel that little top layer off so that you have yourself a sticky pad, and that will just raise your image up quite nicely off the surface of the page. Or you can even buy it on tape. So if you've got an enormously long piece like this one, you simply just undo your roll, cut that whole piece off, mount it, and obviously a couple in the middle, because the last thing you want is to have a sag, because that will just look dreadful. And glitters, again, glitter papers, gorgeous papers like that, can give you such a beautiful individual piece. You can buy them in pads, buy them individually, but that's the sort of thing you can do. And here on this lettering, that is actually a little bit of chipboard coloured with an ink pad, and then over that I've put dimensional glue. So I've now got like a ceramic shine. So there's so much you can do and so much you can add. Why have a boring photo album?